Hey there, my name's Alexandra and I am the Lux Trader. This is my video journey of how I trade futures. Currently, I trade the S&P futures, ES. Sometimes I'll trade the Russell 2000, and very infrequently I'll trade crude oil futures. But this is my recap on the trades that I took today, July 28th. So yesterday we had the FOMC meeting where himself, Mr. Jerome Powell, our Lord and Savior, not really, but anyway, um, the Fed decided to raise the basis points by 75 points. And what this has historically done on the market is it's created a whiplash move. So what will happen is if it's the day of the FOMC meeting, we will trade in a range pretty much until the announcement has been made. Then we'll get the initial reaction, which will be this crazy whipsaw move to the upside. And then we will get the rejection, which is this right here. And then we'll get the true move the next day. And that is today, right? So here you can see basically all of yesterday, we traded in a very tight range as soon as the market opened. So I am on Central Time. The market opens for me at 8:30 in the morning. So 8:30 in the morning, we were, excuse me, we were at, we opened at 39.55, and we basically stayed in this tiny, I'm going to say 39.85 to 39.55. We stayed in this 30-point range for most of the day. And um, yesterday I got chopped up in trading because I pretty much traded badly. Like I knew, like I have been trading for over a year. Um, and I'll make a separate video sharing my journey with you. Um, and my progress along the way and what got me into trading futures. I started out with options and then I moved into futures. So we traded in this small range, and in this range, I got chopped up. Basically, I let my inner cave woman loose, and I did a lot of bad trades that I shouldn't have done. And then what happens after the FOMC meeting is that we catapult upwards. So we went from 39.69 all the way up here to 4,039. And then we reversed somewhat, and then we balanced out in the overnight session. We balanced out on the Asian session, and we balanced out in the London session. And if you're curious as to the times of London and the London session and the Asia session. So Asia starts at 1900 and goes to 2 a.m. And again, I'm doing everything on Central Time. And then London starts at 2 a.m. Central and goes to 10:30 a.m. Central. For me, the New York session obviously is 8:30 a.m. to 1500. So here we have a significant balance that occurred during today's, during the overnight session and early morning. Now, here's where I started trading. I normally have a rule for myself that I will not trade until about 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. I like to give the market a half hour to do whatever it is it's going to do, and then I'll get in. Just because I've noticed for me that uh, if I trade right off the open, I will get destroyed. And I've felt that pain so many times that I just don't want to feel it anymore. So I decide to wait. And recently I've been looking at all my trades, and I've noticed that in my trades, I have really been getting chopped up around 9 o'clock, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern, half hour after the market opens. So there's been this period of time over the past several days in the market where 9 o'clock to about 9:45, it's just a lot of chop and consolidation. You can kind of see it like right here until the market made a really big move here. Um, and I've been staying out of that. So I've actually been trading a little bit later on in the day. Now I am coming off of 2 losing days as I share this recap with you. And my losing days um, were just ridiculous. Uh, so for the past month, for July, I basically was profitable every single day, except for one day where I lost like $357. Um, and then yesterday and the day before, I destroyed my account. It was really stupid. Um, I basically let my inner cave woman take over, and I got chopped up like you could not believe. Um, to the tune of a couple grand lost. And, you know, this is the nature of trading. And like I said, I'm an aspiring trader. So I am not consistently profitable. I'm heading there. I'm getting there. I can see it. I can taste it. I can feel it. I I will be there soon. But my problem is, and I'm working on this in my trading psychology. I'm currently going through Randy Howell's trading psychology course, and I'll link a video. I'll link a I'll link one of his videos down below if you're interested in his trading psychology videos on YouTube, because they are amazing. So I'm really working on rewiring my brain for trading. Um, I've in the past thought I was focused on the psychological stuff, but not the way Randy Howell brings it out in his teachings. Another really good book to read on trading psychology is Mark Douglas. Well, he is the OG. Like, Mark Douglas is amazing. Read Trading in the Zone, and then also read Dr. Brett Steinbarger. Um, his 3-minute trading coach videos have seriously helped me. So let's get into the trades that I took today, and you'll see my degenerate trading. Well, not so degenerate, but kind of. All right, so the first trade I took, let me go down to the 2-minute. So I know a lot of futures traders trade off of tick charts, they trade off of volume charts, and sometimes I do trade off of the 3000 volume chart on ES. Um, it's it's uh, it's a favorite of mine. Um, as you can see here, I do also have NinjaTrader, and I will make a video on that later. But right now, what I'm using to trade futures is I am using Tradovate, and I have Tradovate integrated with TradingView. So Tradovate is my futures trading platform. I love it. It seamlessly integrates with my TradingView account, and I just do the trades right in here. So if you're not familiar with it, you can basically do all of your actions right here, hit that, and you're off to the races. All right, so I was looking at the 2-minute chart. So what I'm looking for is I also like to look at, this is called Cumulative Delta right here. And I like to see, if we're in pre-market, I like to see a cumulative delta of at least 200, cumulative volume of at least 200. And that to me says, okay, we've got a little bit of activity coming in. So I started watching this activity around 7:30 this morning, where I saw, all right, we went down a little bit, but we were able to hold the 4,000 level, which is super important um, for me to take along, because normally I like to fake moves. I like to go short. I don't know why. It's just something that's worked for me. So it's something that I like to do. Um, so here I saw, okay, we're holding 4,000 nicely. I saw a big bullish candle here that spiked up at around 734. Then we had a pullback. And this line right here, this blue line, it's kind of my guiding line. It's a 10 EMA, and that's a 10 exponential moving average. I like to use that to scalp off of, because what I'll notice is if price action and volume are matching up, right? We've got increasing volume, like you can see here. Here the volume's totally increasing. And price is holding the 10 EMA. To me, and my back testing that I've done, it's a signal that um, this trade has a probability of working out. And I am working on thinking in probabilities versus being absolute, because the brain that got you here is not the brain that you're going to need to be successful in trading. So I always try to remember that. So here we have price action. It pulled back. And then what I did at this point, I noticed, okay, we're holding the 10 EMA and price is starting to increase with volume. The cumulative delta volume is also going up. So we had those confluences that were working. And then what I did was I switched to, I'll get into those trades in a minute, but going back, apologies on my navigation here. Going back, what I saw was, all right, we had increasing volume coming in. This candle kind of formed like a little mini base out candle where we went up from there. We went up. Ideally, I should have gotten in here, but I wanted to see this candle kind of show me that it was going to close over the previous candle. And that's how I knew, okay, here's a good place for a decent long scalp. So you'll see here, I bought one ES contract at 40.2250, and then I just pretty much wrote it up here for a nice little 6 point, what's that? 42.20, 40.2250 to 40.2875 for a 6.25 move. So here's a nice little 6 point move. This is one contract, and boom, done. So entered the trade at 7:45, exited at 7:48, 3 minutes later for a nice move. Then I stopped, right? At this point, I was like, okay, I had my little move here. I'm going to wait till after the market opens, because I do not like playing the opening of the market, because anything can happen. What I notice is that the market tends to, and this is just recently, and these are just my observations, when the New York session opens, it tends to do almost a fake out where it'll open bullish, and then the real move is bearish for the rest of the day, or vice versa, right? It'll open bearish, and then the real move is bullish. Or it'll just chop around for like an hour and kill everybody and then do what it wants to do, right? So I think of the market as a living, breathing entity, and I treat it with respect as such. Sometimes I don't respect it, but I've learned my lessons. Um, and the reason why my trading is a little bit weird here, I'll cover this in a minute. This is the second set of trades that I took, is because I had lost so much for the past 2 days that I was so skittish, and I felt like I was losing my confidence in figuring out um, the moves that were going to happen. So I wasn't letting this move play out the way it should. So I have a setup that I like to look at, um, and it's this kind of like M based setup where I will watch. Uh, where is this little tool here that I can use? Or I'll watch price action. I'll watch and see if how is price action moving. So here we can see price action started around 28.75. It went to it went all the way to 41, right? So 4,041.75. So a solid move. Then it came down to 33. Then it went back up. It didn't quite get to our 41.75, but it got to 440. So if I see price action revisit the level and then break through the level, it's this beautiful little M setup that I like, that it it creates, the market usually moves in twos, right? So you've got a nice move up here from about 30 to 40 to 42. It is a 12-point move. Then you've got it coming back down. Price is touching the 10 EMA, so it's going to about 34. And then it's coming back up to 40, right? And now what would either happen is price would keep going up, or price is going to come back down and touch this level again. So I'm looking for it to touch the level 32 here and then break under it. And that's where I'll go for my short. So I set up my price level here. And this trade was actually a really good, solid trade for me. It was a 6-to-1 trade. Um, that worked out nicely. And here's where I entered this trade. I went short 2 contracts at 40.25.50. Now, I knew this area was a chop zone, and because of my losses that I had for the past couple of days, I was very skittish, right? Like, I saw profit, I wanted to take it. I did not want to wait to play around and see what was going to happen, because I've been there too many times. So what I did here was I bought 2 at 40.22. So this is like a really quick move. It's like barely a 3-point move here. And then I got back in at 14. Like my reactions were off because of the losses that I suffered. Even though here everything was confirming my move, right? Here price was decreasing and volume was increasing. This is like the dynamic duo. This is what you want to look and see. And also too, cumulative delta also confirmed this move as well. So then what I did was I sold here. I bought at 13, and then I sold at 408, and then I bought at 407. So this was a bunch of stupid little moves where I could have held, I could have done this whole thing in one trade, right? Because honestly, this is a really short trade, but that just shows you um, trade execution and management is totally different from trade planning. And that's one thing that you have to like really learn and get. So here it broke down. What I should have done was I should have held it from 40.25 all the way to, even if it bounced up a little, 4,825, right? So it's like a beautiful, really nice 13-point move that you can just make a good amount of money on, right? So from my decent long scalp and my solid short trade, even though my trade management was very poor, I was up $812 for the day on these trades, right? So then I decided, all right, I saw we were kind of chopping around where we weren't really going in any sort of direction. We were kind of just vacillating between 40, 13, 25, all the way down to 39.97, right? We're just kind of going up and down, no real continuation, no directional moves. I mean, you could scalp this, but then I am also looking at this on a 1-minute chart. So all of these moves are happening fairly quickly, and it's just not it's not something that I like to play because two, the up moves have volume. Then the down moves kind of have some volume as well. So and then it's fake out. It's we go down, we go up, we end up the same. Down, up, the same. So here I entered again. I sold 2 contracts at 39.97.25. I thought we were going to keep going down, and we did not. And then I ended up buying them for 403. Now the problem I had here was my stop loss was not correctly set. The risk on this trade should have been no more than $125, and it ended up costing me $575. So instantly, my $800 of profit went down to like 270, right? Around, yeah, I lost $520 in a matter of a minute because of my stupidity and not setting the stop loss correctly. Again, I'm not trying to bash myself, but I also realize that the thing to me is that when you've made your money, walk away, be done trading. There's no better way of giving all your money back to the market than by you trading every day. And so you can see here, I bought and then we chopped around, right? So I bought at a fairly good entry point of 4,525, but then we just chopped. And then I got stopped out. I went in again. I got stopped out. I went in again. I got stopped out. And so on and so forth, right? It was just a cluster, right? And here I went short and I got stopped out again because I thought, okay, well, we're definitely going to go back down. But the thing that I missed was volume was decreasing, right? So I should have paid attention more and said, all right, volume's decreasing, let me just wait or get out of this chop zone. So here I was, and I think I was probably down like about 300 or 400 at this point. So I had given back all of my gains, and now I was in a negative. And then I decided, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until we get out of this chop zone because I had clearly defined it for myself at this point. I saw that between 4,000 and 413, the market was just messing around, right? And then here we have this. So this time frame between 8:45 all the way to about 9:45. So this is a solid hour of just foolishness that I could have very easily avoided. And another thing is it goes to paying attention to your levels. When you have levels, you want to stick with them, right? So then here I bought at 40.2175. And then this trade took a little while to work out in my favor. but I ended up selling at 40.2875. And then at that point, I had made 7 points and I was up $675 and I was done for the day, right? Because I was tired of sitting and waiting for the market to figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to collect my coins and go home. So what I could have done is I could have stayed in, but based off of yesterday, where we kind of like bottomed out and started reversing at this level, I didn't want to take a chance. And then as you can see here, if I flip to the 5-minute, you're going to see that going to the 5-minute, you will see that it just, after this little period of consolidation between 10:30 and 12, now we're just kind of rocket shipping upwards, and now we're consolidating. So it's around 2 p.m. Central. We've got an hour before the market closes. The hour is power hour coming up, but I will not be playing it. I'm going to eat lunch. I hope you enjoyed this recap of my trading. And if you have any videos you would like me to make, content, please let me know. I'm more than happy to fit them in as we go. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.